We wouldn't be able to keep this archive going without your support. Donate online today at wyxr.org.
With your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go. The first new broadcast of 2024. It is 6 o'clock straight up. That means it's time for Real Talk Memphis. We are back in the house. It is great to be back in the air chair. Happy New Year to each and every one of you on this 8th day of January 2024. And my hope for you already is just that you have an amazing, fantastic year, that everything goes according to plan, and that you'll have something to celebrate, as we get down into the months and, into December, and you can look back and say, man, yeah, 2024, that was a stone cold good year. But anyway, it's great to see my colleagues here today. It's Bryn and Lola, of course, and we have a special in studio guest this evening, Addison. Addison is Lola's daughter, and she went off to college in the fall, and down in Jackson, Mississippi. And I walked in the studio and I saw her reclining over here in the corner. It's good to see baby girl, and she's doing fine. Everything is going well for her. I hope that everything is going well for you. Before we get started with the guest list and the whole 9 yards, you're asking yourself, you're starting a brand new year. We've been off for the last couple of weeks, holiday and the whole 9 yard, and we're back in the saddle again. How do you get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Right now we're on the air live, 91.7 WYXR, excuse me, on the FM side. You can also catch us on the YXR app, the TuneIn app. We're on Facebook Live this evening, and once the show is posted in the next day or so, you will be able to catch us on YouTube, and of course, wherever it is you get your podcast. So we got all that business out of the way. Everything else is front and center for us this evening. I will tell you this. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas holiday. I hope that everything went well for you. What did Santa leave me for Christmas this year? Last year, rather, I got COVID. Since it's been out all that time, I got COVID and I got strep throat. And your boy was down for a minute. I can tell you that. And if you've been fortunate enough not to contact COVID, you don't want it. You absolutely don't want this. I wouldn't even wish this on people. I completely and totally dislike. That's how bad it was. But we're working our way back around. Everything is all systems go. But yeah, I tell you, man, a lot of folks sick out here. RSV, which is the respiratory disease. Of course, we have the flu, which is rising pretty rapidly around here, and of course, COVID, which doesn't seem to disappear. So I hope your health has been good as well. As far as tonight's show, our first show of 2024. We're going to talk to a couple of newbies, I would like to say. I'd like to call them. 2 new members of the Memphis City Council, 2 of the 7 women that are on the city council this year, the highest number of women ever on the city council. We will be speaking with Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, who is the councilwoman for Super 8 Position 3, Super 8 District Super 8 Position 3. And we'll be speaking with Pearl Walker. Pearl is the newly elected councilwoman for District 3 over in Whitehaven area. And a bit later on, we will be talking with Shelby County Juvenile Court Judge. His name is Tarik Sugarmon. And, of course, there's a lot to discuss there as we ended the year with a lot of juvenile crime activity that we were all dealing with on our streets. He's going to talk about some of the initiatives that he is going to be moving forward this year, and even including some possible legislation on the parental responsibility of these young people out here, and parents who are not doing their job properly, and maybe even aiding their young people in some of this criminal activity. So we look forward to talking with him and talking with the rest of them as well. But, this is the time of the broadcast, January, brand new year. Of course, many of you have celebrated your birthdays since the first of the year. Maybe you had a birthday celebration over the weekend or today. And if you did, this is the time of the broadcast where we shout you out. We celebrate you. And we make it known to everybody that this is your very special day. But I can't do that unless I say, hit it, Brent. Happy birthday going out to Teddy Elvis. Happy birthday to Yvette Stone. John Robert Heckman is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Lamar Williams, to Marsherie Gatewood. Corrento Taylor is celebrating a birthday, as is Kia. Now, I can't pronounce his name, but I want to say it's Kiawsha. I don't know how to pronounce that. But in any event, her last name is Williams. And very happy birthday to her. And Lola has a very special birthday she would like to shout out. Lola?
Yes, a very, very, very special happy birthday to our very own here in Real Talk Memphis, Miss Nicole, Miss Planet Chrome herself. Happy birthday, and we miss you every Monday.
Nicole.
And 1 second. Make sure you tune in to Planet Chrome at midnight and turn my girl up, okay?
That's
on Friday.
Right. There you go. That's it. Nicole Covington is celebrating her birthday today. Our Nicole. And as Lola said, we miss her. But when I saw the list, I saw her name. I was like, yeah, there you go. So Lola did a nice job on that. She's right. Listen to Planet Chrome, right? Every Friday night. They're right at midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a slamming show. As is Level Lola before us. Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it. So let's get into some news and notes. Since we were all together a couple of weeks back, we officially have a new mayor. His name is Paul Young. He's been sworn into office. We have several new members of the city council who are sworn into office as well. So everybody wants to hit the ground running in terms of the crime situation in our city. We broke another record last year, just under 400 homicides in the city of Memphis I think it was like 398 last year. So there's a lot of work to do in reference to all of that. By the way, before I move forward with a couple of news and notes here, a couple of deaths to announce. Carl Everett Johnson Sr., who was a force in this city for a very long time. He was the longest serving school board member in the history of the school board, serving 35 years. He was a political giant. He helped to change the course of history in this city for so many people. He died the day after Christmas. And also one of the stalwarts of the civil rights movement back in 1968, former sanitation worker Elmore Nickelberry. He died over the holidays as well, 92 years old. Of course, they were in part responsible for getting Dr. King down here for the sanitation workers strike and to try to increase the pay and make the conditions overall better. So we salute both of these giants of our city, and may their memories always always be a blessing. So as I said, we have a new mayor, Paul Young, and we have a new majority city council. There are some big issues that the city council actually meets tomorrow for the first time on Tuesday, for the first time this year. And one of the big issues is, are they going to reappoint Police Chief C.J. Davis? That is the key question. Many of them have been asked, the city council folks, and I plan on asking them myself here in a few minutes, whether they're going to reappoint the current chief of police or not. Of course, the mayor, Mayor Young, is urging them to reappoint her. Some of the city council folks have not been too forthcoming in terms of exactly what they're going to do, but have said that they're going to place their vote tomorrow, and I guess we'll all find out then. Another one of the issues that the city council is going to vote on, and this one is probably going to catch a lot of heat. Martavius Jones, outgoing city councilman, proposed when the last council met to have past and current city council member, the recent past city council members and the current council, to get health insurance, free health insurance for the council members for the rest of their life, by the way. Council members who serve either 4 years or 8 years will be entitled. Now, they have to vote on that tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure that if once they talk to some of their constituents, I don't know how many folks would be happy about that particular situation. So we will see what happens as things kick off tomorrow. A sad anniversary to announce yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the death of Tarik Nichols. That happened about 1 year ago, and last night they had a community vigil for him with his parents, and of course the mayor was there, police chief was there as well. So that's a sad note to wind up on. But in terms of where we go from here, that's the big question. What happens now? Where do we go from here? How do we fix what was broken inside the police department? The Tennessee General Assembly, they get together tomorrow, back in session, back up in Nashville. As far as I'm concerned, any conversation that doesn't pertain to gun control and how we fix so many of these guns on the streets is a waste of time, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm willing to give them an opportunity, so we'll see exactly what happens with that. The district attorney, Steve Mulroy, has pledged to fast track some of these serious felony cases that kind of go through the bogged down court system. This revolving door we keep talking about, that the former mayor Strickland was talking about, and we will see how all of that plays out as well. Maybe we can actually keep some of these felons in jail. I'm just saying, for longer than a 24-hour or 48-hour period. Maybe we can actually do a little bit better in that regard. So we'll see. There are a lot of challenges on the plate, and we will see if our folks who are in charge of all of this will be able to take care of it. I know that the current mayor says we're going to end the chaos, and we're going to approach the crime problem like we did the COVID pandemic. We'll see what happens. All right, that's a look at news and notes. Congratulations to both the Tigers and the Grizzlies. They both won over the weekend, so the local teams are looking good to start things off this year. We're going to take our first break of the night, and when we come back, we will kick off the show. You might as well sit back and relax, get comfortable. It's a messy, sloppy night here in the city. A lot of rain out there, a lot of wind as well. Be careful if you have to go out and about. We will be back, and we will kick things off for the 2024 edition of Real Talk Memphis right here. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Quick break. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest? Or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
It's real talk. It's real talk.
Buster's Liquors and Butcher is proud to support WYXR, featuring the 3-Chord Backstage Series whiskey, custom blends created in collaboration with each artist, featuring Lucero, Dinosaur Jr., the Cadillac 3, and more. More information at bustersliquors.com.
Located on the second floor of the Crosstown Concourse, the Memphis Listening Lab is a curated collection of music and music history that is open to the public 6 days a week. Vinyl Happy Hour happens every Friday between 3 and 5 p.m., where guest DJs from around the community will spin some of their favorite records. More information and a complete listing of upcoming events at memphislisteninglab.org.
Hi, this is Anita Ward, here to tell you a bit about my alma mater, Russ College, which supports the music of the Mid-South through its partnerships with WYXR. I've been known for singing since my days on campus, and I continue to sing Russ College's praises. Before you heard me ring my bell, my classmates and I knew another motto: by their fruits ye shall know thee. You can make memories at Russ College too. For more information on admissions, enrollment, and activities, visit russcollege.edu.
Ryu is proud to support WYXR. Located at 5137 Summer Avenue, Ryu serves a variety of traditional sushi and pho. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 11 o'clock a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. and Sunday from 11 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m., serving the pho menu only. Carry out and delivery available. More information at 901ryu.com.
Hi, this is Anita Ward, here to tell you a bit about my alma mater, Russ College, which supports the music of the Mid-South through its partnerships with WYXR. I've been known for singing since my days on campus, and I continue to sing Russ College's praises. Did you know Russ College and Ole Miss have partnered up to offer the all-new 3 and 2 program? Students interested in engineering can earn 2 degrees in 5 years by taking courses on both campuses. For more information on admissions, enrollment, and activities, visit russcollege.edu.
Support for WYXR comes from Feast and Graze, offering luxury grazing boxes, cheese and charcuterie platters, and tables for any occasion. Free delivery available within Shelby County. A new storefront with high P-Hour Wellness opening this spring in Poplar Plaza Shopping Center. More information at feastandgraze.com.
Thanks for tuning in to WYXR 91.7 FM. Chris Rowling here, host of Dippin' Ya Hip on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. As a listener-supported station, WYXR thrives on your support, not just as listeners, but as active contributors. So, I'm asking you to become a sustaining member today. Head on over to wyxr.org/donate and hit that donate button to keep your favorite WYXR DJs and hosts on the airwaves. Plus, our monthly donors get their own WYXR merch and a ton of other perks. Our way of saying thanks. Visit wyxr.org/donate today, become a monthly donor, and let's help keep the station with the city soul going strong.
I'm DJ Alpha Whiskey, host of Flight Risk, and you're listening to WYXR 91.7 FM. As a nonprofit community radio station, we rely on the generosity of donors like you to keep your favorite programming on the airwaves. Become a contributing listener today at wyxr.org/donate.
Hi, this is Anita Ward, here to tell you a bit about my alma mater, Russ College, which supports the music of the Mid-South through its partnerships with WYXR. I've been known for singing since my days on campus, and I continue to sing Russ College's praises. Did you know Russ College and Ole Miss have partnered up to offer the all-new 3 and 2 program? Students interested in engineering can earn 2 degrees in 5 years by taking courses on both campuses. For more information on admissions, enrollment, and activities, visit russcollege.edu.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. Glad to have you with us along for the ride. Our first show of this brand new year. We're trying to get Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. I see her, but we can't hear her. We're having some issues with the audio aspect of things, and we're trying to work that out. Hopefully, we can get it to where she can. Communicate where we can communicate with each other before it's all said and done. Y'all, let me know if we get to the point to where we can hear her. Hopefully, as I said, we'll be able to chat with her. She's one of the newly elected city council folks this year. 7 women on the city council. Most women on. So can you hear me? Is she good?
Can you hear me now?
Hey, how you doing? I got you. Happy New Year.
Amazing. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm doing amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. And listen, thank you so much for coming on the show, our first show of the year. So happy to have you. So listen, you were probably everyone, a lot of folks, maybe except your supporters and of course you on election night when you came and you won a very crowded race. You are the councilwoman for Super 8 position 3. Am I correct in that?
That is correct.
So you were a bit of a surprise to a lot of folks, and I was listening to the election coverage that night. When you did win this, I guess my first question to you, and I should say, obviously, congratulations again on your victory. But what made you decide that this was the time and this was the district for you to run in to represent these fine folks?
Well, it really wasn't my decision. I've been very prayerful about anything and everything that I do, even coming onto this show with you.
Okay.
And timing is so important. And once we understand that and we really grasp that timing is so important, it was just my time and my turn. And when I heard the gracious voice of the Holy Spirit say, run, I ran.
And you won. And you won. So, there's a lot to do. You actually have your first meeting. You and your colleagues have your first meeting, official meeting tomorrow. And there are several items I would imagine on the agenda, but a couple that are getting note. And I thought I would ask you to see if you would respond. And one of them, of course, is the reappointment of the current police chief, C.J. Davis. Of course, the mayor has urged. He has said that he wants to retain her, but now it's up to the city council. So my question is, have you made a decision yet? Are you going to hold that until the meeting tomorrow?
I will hold that to the meeting tomorrow. I have been very prayerful, and I have, and listening to my constituents, to the city of Memphis, and so I will hold that until tomorrow.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that, but I have to be a host and ask those questions. Another one of the issues is this proposal that was made in the last city council by Martavius Jones about health insurance for the last group of council members and this new group here. Has a decision on that been made yet as far as you're concerned?
I have done my research, looking at other municipal cities around the city. I'm really prayerful about that, and I'm listening to my constituents as well, and I'm going to hold that answer as well.
So it is a busy slate, and in terms of some of the priorities that you have laid forth in terms of your constituent base and the folks that you represent, what are some of the issues that you want to tackle the most as we enter into a new year?
Well, the New Year issue that I think every city council and this entire city is really, really concerned about, and it's a great issue, is that I'm sitting here watching the news before I got on this Zoom meeting with you, are these teenagers, these are children that are committing these crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so crime is the number one thing that has been the most talk. And of course, the issue of MLGNW has been another talk when I was on the campaign. So crime is our biggest thing that we have to really face and really tackle aggressively with a plan, strategizing with every member that is here in the city of Memphis that can do something about it and make a change. So crime is one thing. Crime is the most important right now.
How do we, in your estimation, how do we get a handle on it? I know Mayor Young said this is gonna take a laser-like focus and a pandemic type response to it. And you sort of alluded to it too. But I mean, how do we, in your estimation, how do we get a handle on all of this?
Well, we got to get all the collective groups and parties together. Juvenile, Shelby County, everyone has to come together collectively and sit down at the round table. There are other cities that have looked identical to what Memphis is going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have implemented programs and strategies and plans. And I think that we are going to have to look at what has already been done, has already been successful,
mm-hmm.
and mimic and mirror what has already been done.
I know,
because this is nothing strange. This is nothing new. This is happening all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, we look identical to what Detroit looked like. Oakland, California, all those places are having this. Chicago. We must sit down, and people that have already, places that have already implemented, already have success stories behind it. We're going to have to try to implement what has already been done and not be afraid to do it, and do it aggressively, and not be afraid to step on toes, because right now we are in a very critical time here in Memphis. And our children are suffering, Chip. And we are suffering. Our elderly seniors who can't even enjoy the fruit of their labor, just going to the grocery stores on a day-to-day basis. This city is like under siege, just terrorized by young people.
Yeah. You make a very good point, and a lot of us are suffering as a result of this. I mentioned at the top of my broadcast, we celebrated a very sad anniversary yesterday. It was the 1-year anniversary of the death of Tarik Nichols at the hands of some of our former law enforcement officers. I wanted to kind of get your take on all of this and how we move forward, because there seems to be a big time disconnect between the community and our law enforcement professionals. How do we fix that?
We fix it. It's a very simple fix. Memphis is a very unique place. It's a different kind of place. It's very unique. And this place, Memphis, our home where we live, is predominantly a black community, a black city. And our crimes are being committed by our young black youth. And we see them as we see it escalating every day. It's escalating and escalating. And we're going to have to sit at the table and really talk about it and inconvenience and have more accountability. There's not enough accountability in this city with the powers to be, with where we are now. And so we're just lawless. I mean, we're just lawless. And so there's going to have to be more accountability. And we're going to have to start with addressing the needs. We have poverty. We have inequality around this whole city. When I have A3, which is District A3, and every community in this city look identical, which is amazing to me, that I can go to any part of this city and we all look alike.
Mm-hmm.
There has been a lack of investment in our city and in our communities and in our neighborhoods. So we're going to have to sit down, see what the mayor, he has come with a task. He has his task and his plans. He's laid it out, how he wants to approach it. Give him that opportunity. We work collectively together. It's not an I, it's not a me, it's not a you, it's a we thing. And we're going to have to do it together.
I was at the swearing in of all of you a week or so ago, and I noticed that when they brought you up to be sworn in, there was quite a bit of reaction in a positive way for you. I thought to myself, I said, "Wow, she's got a lot of supporters out here." But there is as you said before, there is a big time responsibility. And that all of us need, and I think that seems to be the theme of not only what the mayor is saying, but what you're saying, and what a lot of folks are saying. This isn't a me thing or an I. This is a we thing, and all of us together have to galvanize, don't we, Councilwoman, in order to try to make some type of positive change in our city. Correct?
I concur with exactly what you said, Chip. I concur with that wholeheartedly, and we're going to have to do it. We. On my campaign, it was we. I can't do anything. You may put me in the seat, but it's going to take all of us to change the narrative of this city and move the needle.
Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, District 8-3, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate hearing from you. I look forward to dialoguing with you during your tenure on the city council, and I look forward to meeting you one day as well. Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Well, Mr. Chip, I thank you for the invite. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you and getting for your constituents out there, your listeners, to hear me and to know who I am. And I'm very grateful. And my goal is to help move the needle. Memphis is a great city, and we can do it together.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you down the road. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.
Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, ladies and gentlemen, newly elected councilwoman, District 8, Position 3, and she says it takes all of us, and she's exactly right. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we are going to continue on this Monday evening, this first Monday for us in the new year. Glad to have you all with us. A lot of folks on Facebook Live Line. I really appreciate you all as well. Let's go to break, and when we come back, let's continue on this Monday. Don't go away.
If you like real talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Feast and Graze, offering luxury grazing boxes, cheese and charcuterie platters, and tables for any occasion. Free delivery available within Shelby County, and new storefront with High P Hour Wellness opening this spring in Poplar Plaza Shopping Center. More information at feastandgraze.com.
Hey, I'm Amy, host of Sonosphere on Monday at 4 p.m. and you're listening to WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis. I'm here today to ask you to further your impact with the station with the city's soul by joining the ranks as a WYXR mid-level donor today. Join us in championing a more inclusive and informed world through the transformative power of the community radio. Visit midlevel.wyxr.org to become a mid-level donor at WYXR, where your investment paves the way for a brighter and more connected future. Mid-level donors enjoy exclusive benefits such as on-air acknowledgments, VIP passes to Raised by Soundfest, and the opportunity to step into the role of a guest DJ. More information about mid-level donations can be found at midlevel.wyxr.org.
For those experiencing housing insecurity, it can take months to secure stable housing. Community Alliance for the Homeless is excited to announce the return of Project Homeless Connect, an event bringing service providers, community partners, and volunteers under one roof to provide those experiencing homelessness with immediate access to vital services and resources. The event will take place on Thursday, January 25th, 2024 at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. More information at cafth.org.
Yo, it's Chemist here, host of Computer Noise Radio, and I'm here today to ask you to consider donating to WYXR. When you donate to WYXR, you're no longer merely a listener. You're a vital part of our WYXR community. Becoming a member is incredibly valuable for community radio, allowing us to budget, plan, and increase the ways we serve Memphis. Join us in shaping the future of local radio now at wyxr.org/donate.
I'm DJ Alpha Whiskey, host of Flight Risk, and you're listening to WYXR 91.7 FM. As a nonprofit community radio station, we rely on the generosity of donors like you to keep your favorite programming on the airwaves. Become a contributing listener today at wyxr.org/donate.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. Very glad to have all of you with me this evening. A lot of folks on the Facebook Live line. We're efforting juvenile court judge Tarik Sugarmon. I think he's muted. We can't seem to. I can't hear him, and I don't know if he can hear me or not. He may need to reboot and try to relog in. Definitely looking forward to trying to speak with him tonight on some of the issues in reference to the juvenile population here. He is over juvenile court, and I can tell you that one of the things that he has been advocating recently is, of course, he needed more money to hire more staff, and the county commission gave him, over $2 million to be able to hire more staff, in his facility there. One of the other suggestions that he came up with, and one I applaud absolutely, is the responsibility of parents as pertains to their young people. If you have a teenager in your house under the age of 18 and you don't know where they are at night, in the middle of the night, and they're not in your house after midnight till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're in the street causing trouble, causing problems. There he is. I see. Judge, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I got you now. I can. You're kind of dark on the screen there. I don't know if you did you put some light on yourself there, but listen, I do have you, and I'm so glad that you were able to make the show tonight. There you are. It's great to see you. Happy New Year. How are you?
Happy New Year to you. I'm blessed. I'm leaving actually a workout, and
okay.
I'm in my vehicle.
Okay.
I'm at the station. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. It said you had to unmute me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I apologize.
Well, that's all right. We're good. We're good to go. So listen, again, welcome and Happy New Year. Well, we've been talking a lot about last year, and it was a pretty tough year all the way around, especially in terms of criminal activity. A lot of our young people played a role in all of this. I know that you are working diligently to try to change things in that perspective. One of the things that you said recently that I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with is that we need to start taking a closer look at the responsibility of parents as pertains to our young folks. And you want to sort of kind of spotlight that a little bit. Talk a little bit about what you're looking at in terms of the responsibility of parents in terms of the young people out here committing these crimes.
Well, the responsibility with the parents begins from birth. We have children and families growing up in dire poverty, and that has been a concern, of course, in the community that has existed for years. But resourcing these families and then holding parents accountable for what they have to do in terms of keeping up with their children and making sure the children are attending school, addressing any health concerns. Of course, mental health has been a big problem coming out of the pandemic. But we need to make sure that the families are properly resourced and then make sure that those parents who have, for lack of a better term, not provided the proper oversight, that need parental training, that learn how to manage a bank account, to make sure that they manage the finances properly, make sure that they are not housing challenged. A lot of our families are not only are they growing up in poverty, they're finding themselves displaced. Coming out of the pandemic, our number of truancy cases was rather large. The court was not hearing truancy cases, obviously, because of the concerns with having people in that close proximity in a closed environment. And so the numbers were held over from year to year during the pandemic, and we had to work hard to get those numbers down. Well, it turned out a lot of families had concerns. They were moving because they were displaced. They may have moved 2 or 3 times during the pandemic, and the school system had them registered at a certain location. So we ran a truancy clinic. First, we got our numbers down, ran a clinic, and helped families get their children registered, make sure they were up to date on the shots, made sure they had health insurance to cover the expenses of having examinations. And then at our clinic, we were able to get those numbers. We had about 889 that attended the clinic. They were, given notice of the clinic, and we resolved about 40% of those cases. So we're working hard with our school system, working hard, of course, with our counselors. Now, we just got a large increase, addendum to our 2024 budget of $2.3 million. And a lot of that is going for our youth resource specialists. These are persons that are going to be trained in dealing with the families from diverse backgrounds, that deal with the community partners that we're partnering with, like, for instance, Seed Co. works with the fathers. Pure Academy is working with a lot of our young kids who are coming up on our delinquency dockets. Families Matter. And to make sure that our community partners have a direct connection with the court, with the schools, and with those families, to make sure that we address the needs in the community. It's one thing to give a child an opportunity at getting, for instance, additional educational assistance, the family getting assistance with housing displacement, with food insecurity, but it has to be proximate to them because there are transportation issues in this city. So we're taking a holistic wraparound approach with juvenile court and our community partners. And I know that's a mouthful, but I want the citizens to know we're working hard on this. We're actually in the streets working with these families. That's what the youth development officers are going to be doing.
I was going to say,
development specialists.
Go ahead. I've talked to a lot of people about this particular issue, and I know you're working hard, and I know you were allocated over $2 million, to help with what you're doing. But it is important, is it not, Judge? And I think you alluded to it. To meet these young people where they are, there's obviously a disconnect and an issue of trust in terms of the why of why they do what they do, but there really does need to be more of a focus on communicating with these young people. No?
That's absolutely true. But the best way to do that is to make sure the parents are on board with their responsibilities, understanding what their responsibilities to the community are. For instance, 2/3 of our cases are on what they call the child welfare side of our dockets. Those are children who are there on dependency and neglect cases, child support, child custody, determination of parental rights. Well, 2/3 of our cases only get 1/3 of our resources. With these new youth development specialists, what we're going to do is work with the families directly. Heretofore, counselors have just been preparing cases for docketing on our delinquency dockets, on our child support, child welfare, dependency and neglect dockets. But we weren't actually going into the households, working one-on-one with these families to see that, they're making sure that children are getting to school on time, making sure they have access to opportunities during the summertime for pro-social engagement in the community, making sure that they do volunteer work. One of the best ways to develop empathy is to volunteer. Those of us who have been raised by parents who give back, who we've grown up in the churches that give back. We've grown up in schools where we have to participate in pro-social activities. If a family's just challenged at the morning, we get breakfast on the table, they're not thinking about, how can I help this person? How can I engage? Becoming involved as a volunteer with MIFA or with Habitat for Humanity. A lot of churches, a lot of community organizations have opportunities to give back, but also to learn how to socialize with each other. During the pandemic, we lost that. We have children who were 8, 9 years old going into the pandemic. They're now 13 and 14 years old who have not learned how to communicate with each other just to settle basic disputes. So we have to be intentional with the parents, making sure that they are living up to their responsibilities. You know, if your child is 13, 14, 15, juvenile age jurisdiction age, and your child is out 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on weekends, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on a school day, there's a problem. We're going to address that.
Well, listen, you have quite a lot on your plate. Great challenges lie ahead. I do know that you were part of the crime summit that the mayor had, a few days ago, and he's going to attack this with laser-like focus. He said to end the chaos. We just want to make sure that we do whatever we can on this show to support your efforts, because you have a big job, and we all have a big job. And I think the most underlying thing I've heard, Judge, is that we all need to have a role in this, and we all need to have a hand in this in order to guide these children the right way, correct?
That's absolutely correct. And we have been assessing what we have in terms of resources in our community at juvenile court. We have been looking at that. When I go to churches, when I go to community organizations, when I go into our neighborhoods where people are really looking for answers and how they can help, I wanted to make sure we had an answer, but not only answer, we had something that they could get engaged in. And I'm going to, I've pledged Alpha, but there are a lot of our brothers and sisters in the Divine Nine we need to engage with to do volunteer work, mentoring programs. I talked with Tony Allen. He's with a group called it is the Black Men United, and they have a national organization that deals with mentoring young men across this country. Well, we need to start stepping up and engaging with our citizens on ways that they can volunteer. And we'll be putting up a dashboard soon on our webpage, which we're having it redesigned. But you'll be able to log in, see what's available in your community, and offer to volunteer, offer to give volunteer work in your community, with your church organizations, with your, again, fraternities, sororities. There are all kinds of civic ways that you can involve yourself, and we're going to lay that framework out with our, again, I cannot thank the County Commission and Mayor Harris enough for giving us the resources to add these additional youth development specialists. We have 21 positions, and we'll be posting those on our webpage, and we will have a framework within which the community can become engaged and participate in this wraparound, because it's going to take everybody. Yes, sir. When I was talking to Mayor Young, I mentioned the fact that when a youth development officer, one of our service agents, specialists, goes in the community, we want an officer there to make sure they're going to a safe environment, because we have to protect our specialists, but at the same time, work on community policing. One of the things, I don't know if you know Tyrone Curry, who's president of the Afro Police Association. Yeah, no. He pointed out to me in one of our conversations. He said in 2004, there were more opportunities for police officers to become engaged in community policing. And the zip codes that were in the Westwood area, they had the highest poverty rates, but they had the lowest criminal cases on count by the police department. Which shows the effectiveness of community policing. They had a COAC unit and several other opportunities for youth to become involved in summer programs and after-school programs in that community in 2004. We have to model those things. We have to become more engaged with our police officers. Have a tough job. Absolutely. And I know in 2006, I was working with the Boy Scouts. I was on their finance committee, but I had written to then Director Godwin, because they had taken officers out of scouting. They had an opportunity where they could earn comp time. I'm sorry, I don't want to block traffic. They could earn comp time if they volunteered to be a scoutmaster or assistant scoutmaster. And these officers would not only engage them through scouting, they would also pick the kids up, take them to church, go by at lunchtime and check on them, attend graduation. They were engaged in a positive way with these kids. Well, that also gave these kids an opportunity to see what was available in law enforcement. So the relationship they built was proactive. And if they found out that something was going on in their school that needed to be brought to the attention of law enforcement. That was a way of talking to citizens on the street and getting involved with these families, knowing what's going on in the households that may be deleterious to some of these kids.
Absolutely.
It was a way of connecting with MPD.
Judge, listen, I got to run, but thank you so much for taking some time tonight out of your schedule to talk with me and our listeners about what lies ahead in 2024. I look forward to hopefully getting you back on the show later in the year to talk about some of the other initiatives that you have planned for us. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Certainly, Mr. Washington. Sorry about the problems on the front end.
Not a problem at all, Judge. Take care. Thank you so much.
Care.
Yes, sir.
All right. God bless.
You too. Judge Tarik Sugarmon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, Councilwoman Pearl Walker joins us on this Monday edition of Real Talk Memphis. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
In celebration of 25 years of sharing stories and supporting the dreams of our customers, Independent Bank is proud to support the diverse programming.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And we said it would be quick, and we're back. Glad to have you all out there with us listening tonight. We're also very happy to have our next guest. She is a newly elected member of the Memphis City Council. District 3 she represents, and her name is Pearl Walker. And Councilwoman Walker, it is great to see you. Happy New Year, and welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you, and same to you.
So listen, you all have your first meeting tomorrow. It's been a bit of a whirlwind since you all were sworn in last week. I was at the swearing in ceremony for all of you. You have a pretty full agenda starting out. Of course, I spoke with one of your colleagues earlier, Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, and everybody I think agrees that the major focus is crime and how we get a handle on it. And I'd like to hear some of your thoughts and suggestions on the approach that you will take as a newly elected member of the City Council to address this very important issue.
Well, coming from an environmental and energy background, the data shows that the cleaner neighborhoods are the safer neighborhoods. So I want to take a deep dive and work more closely with Public Works and solid waste and see what we can do to clean the city up. Mm-hmm. So in addition to crime, when I was on the campaign trail, a lot of my constituents, they were concerned about the blight and the litter and the illegal dumping as well as the crime.
So obviously that's going to be one of your focuses, is to try to clean up the area, in some of these blighted areas out here. Do you agree with Mayor Young's approach in terms of criminal activity in this city and how it takes all of us together to make reasoned decisions on exactly how we need to attack it, how we need to focus our police department, and how we need to direct our attention to our youth?
Yes, I do agree with that. We need to be tough on tough criminals, but we do need to invest more in our youth. One of my campaign platform items was closing the information gap. Memphis currently has a lot of activities for our young people, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about them. And so within my newsletter, I'm going to be sharing that information. It's on the city's website, and you can find it in other places, but we do need to invest more in youth programming as well as programming for our young adults. When you think youth, you think up through age 18, through high school.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the programs are for young people ages 18 to 24. But in my district, District 3, we have the largest millennial population in Shelby County. So that's 24 to 40. And we need to think about them as well.
In your estimation, is there a disconnect between law enforcement and the community, especially our young people?
I think there's a disconnect, and partially that's due to George Floyd. Community policing has been effective across the country as well as here in Memphis, but that relationship between the police and the community has eroded to a degree since George Floyd, and here locally even more so since the Tyree Nichols incident. But that relationship can be restored, but we have to be intentional about it so we can benefit once again from community policing.
I would be remiss if I did not ask you about a big decision that one of the first big decisions that you all have to make tomorrow, and that is retaining our current police chief, C.J. Davis. Of course, the mayor has decided he's going to keep her on, but the final decision on that lies with the city council. Would you like to share which way you might go on that tomorrow?
So I won't be sharing that exactly, but I'm looking at data, I'm listening to my constituents, and I'm taking into consideration that we are currently undergoing a DOJ, Department of Justice investigation of patterns and practices. So between the three of those, I will be arriving at my decision that will be made known on tomorrow.
Well, thank you. I knew what the answer would be, but I have to be a responsible journalist and ask these questions. Absolutely, that. Well, listen, I really, I wish you the best. You won your election, one of the closest elections in history. Before I let you go, the significance of 7 women on the city council, the most in the history of our city council. What does that mean to you, and what does that say about our city moving forward?
It means a lot to me to be a part of the 7. I mean, it's history, and to be a part of history is just incredible in so many ways, on so many levels. That's something that most people don't get to experience in their lifetime, be a part of something historical, and what it will mean for the council and what it's saying is that the citizens, they're believing in us just like they have believed in the men over the years. They feel that we are capable and we are able to do the work and do a great job.
Well, listen, I wish you all the best and great success for you and your colleagues on the city council. There's a lot to tackle, and I hope that this won't be your last time coming on the show. We love to hear any updates or any initiatives that you have to share during your time on the council. Thanks for being with us tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up. A couple of technical issues aside, we managed to get all our guests on and had a great conversation. As Brent plays us out, thank you for joining us on this first show of the brand new year for us. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, of course, please reach out and tell somebody. Because we're always trying to grow the audience. In the meantime, be careful out there. We have a lot of rain, a lot of wind out there that we're going to be dealing with for the next couple of days. And after that, it's going to get downright cold. By the time we're here next week, we'll only have highs in the 30s, but we'll deal with that then. In the meantime and between time, please be safe and take care of yourself. And for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, for Nicole, for Lola, for Brent, I'm Chip. Take care of yourself. Until next time, we are out.
It's real